Hey mamas, welcome to Breastfeeding Relief with Bethany. We share incredible stories, tips, and breastfeeding ideas to help on your journey. I'm your host, Bethany Laverne, a lactation consultant and speech therapist who helps mamas with breastfeeding. Not all breastfeeding stories are the same, and we dive into those topics. Welcome, Irene, to Breastfeeding Relief with Bethany. It's so lovely to have you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Bethany. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. Our audience doesn't know, but we've tried to set this up a few times. So I'm so excited that we finally made it work out. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and how many kiddos you have?
So, hi, my name is Irene Vaksberg. I am 55 years old. I have two beautiful children, 33 and 22, and I'm a grandmother of four beautiful grandkids.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your breastfeeding journey?
So, my first child was at 21 years old.
Ooh.
I had no idea what I was doing. I just know I had this baby, and I just kind of went with the flow. I think I was, well, I don't think I was just very, easygoing mother. It didn't freak me out. I love being a mother. I love being pregnant. I know it sounds bizarre when I said that it was the most beautiful time of my life is while I was pregnant. And breastfeeding, I was looking forward to it. But, it wasn't easy with having a career and focusing on that. I probably should have waited to have the babies, but life doesn't wait for us. Things happened. And the first child, I only breastfed her for about 4 to 6 weeks. So it was very fun. It was very fast. I probably, now that I look at it, I probably had postpartum, and it was very hard to connect to my baby. And I was like, oh my God, thank goodness no more breastfeeding. But the second child, he was really incredible. I was 31. I was a little bit more mature, obviously, was a little more stable, career was already established. I breastfed her for 9 months. And it was incredible. It was my beautiful moments when I got home. Now that I'm talking about it, I can visually see her little hand on my boobie. And it was just really precious and very, I loved it. I loved every moment of it, even though I had mastitis almost the whole entire time.
Oh, no.
But I had enough milk for triplets. So actually became a wet mom. Is that how you call it?
A wet nurse.
Yeah, wet nurse for another child that my customer had. And she was premature and she was struggling. And one time she came to the salon and she's sitting there for half an hour, like she got half an hour. So I'm like, girl, what are you doing? She's like, I need milk. I can't. I'm pumping all the time. And I'm like a cow there.
Yeah.
And literally in one pump, I gave her 4 ounces of milk. And that's all she had, the bottle. She only had the 4 ounces. And I could have given her with just one thing, 8 ounces. So I love being pregnant again. And I love breastfeeding, even though I had those complications. I still made enough milk for almost 11 months after I stopped breastfeeding.
Wow. Well, thank you.
I know I gave you a lot of information in one question.
No, that's so good. That's good. And I love that you shared that your first kiddo, you only nursed for 4 to 6 weeks because of your postpartum. And I feel like a lot of moms keep going, but their postpartum gets worse and they don't want to breastfeed anymore. And I know it is okay to stop your journey for your mental health. Your babies will be fine, right? You can buy breast milk. Yes, it's more expensive. Sometimes you can just find friends that are making so much extra milk like you that are more than happy to donate it and give it away.
And it was such a beautiful experience to be able to donate for a few months to this woman. And then another customer, I didn't realize she was a wet mom nurse too. And because one day she posted this like 30 little container. She's like, oh, I'm giving to this person, I'm donating this person. I was like, oh my God, how beautiful this is, that as women, like, first of all, it's a miracle that, like, our bodies can carry a child for 9 months and then give birth and then produce milk and do all of this. Like, we're like basically walking, moving incubator, right?
Yeah.
Then we can help others, right? Like, that was just, I mean, I knew, like, when we were in Russia, like, there's no formula. So we had to do whatever I had to do. Well, not me. I was 12 when I came to this country, but our parents, our moms, and there was a lot of wet nurses. That's where I, realized that, we can help each other, right?
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And there's so many Facebook groups now, locally that they want to help other mamas. And even, when you go to small groups with other moms, like the breastfeeding groups or different things, you find other mamas that they just want to genuinely help you. And I even love, like, the breastfeeding group I went to, we would bring like our old pumps or old sit me ups or whatever you needed, or someone would say, oh, I'm really struggling with this, or my baby wrap's not working. They're like, I got one in the closet. I'll just bring it. You can have it. It's just so lovely when we can share all of these things with everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. I gave away all my pumps and all of the, my favorite, for the bag and the baby
the baby wraps.
Maybe? Yeah, it was like this little thick thing that you put it over yourself and you put the baby on top of it.
Oh, a nursing pillow?
Oh, I think nursing pillow, but I think I had some other name. That was fantastic. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
No, look, I feel like there's so much, especially young moms like me, if you're having a baby before 25, it's a lot. It's a lot mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. And I basically did it as a single mother. First time, 100%. Second one, I was still married. It's a lot. So be gentle with yourself, ladies. Be very, very gentle. I used to tell moms, no matter how old they were, if the baby's sleeping, you sleep with that baby. That is you on your baby time. Whatever is the baby doing, you are doing. Don't worry about dishes. Don't worry about laundry. Your husband, your boyfriend, your significant other, take out is wonderful.
It's so true. But I do think that's hard as a first-time mom, especially when you're home, nobody else is home. And I felt it wasn't expected of me, but I felt like I placed the burden on my own shoulders to make sure that the house was clean, the dishes were done, the food was made, all while I felt like pulling my hair out. But I wanted it to look like I'm staying home. This is my job now, 100%. I'm only breastfeeding a baby, even though it's a full-time job. And then you're trying to keep the house up and everything else going. Yeah. And so I just feel like, moms, you need to give yourself more grace. And also ask for help. That was super hard for me to ask for help, but people want to help.
And for me too, like, I'm like the worst. I mean, I learned as I went. I'm a giver. So for me to ask for something, it's very hard. I mean, people knew, so they brought some food and this and that. But yeah, give yourself grace. Your only job is that baby, nothing else. And, you don't know that until you do, right? Like, the society tells us we're supposed to be Wonder Woman. No, we're supposed to be only Wonder Woman for the child and make sure that is what we are doing, right? And you're doing well. Look, at 21, I mean, I babysitted. I knew how to handle the babies. I wasn't like, well, wash your hands, mother. I would put up the boob, put a thing on myself and feed my baby in Costco.
Yeah.
Or change the diapers. Nothing had to be sanitized per se, 100%. Like, I put this little thing. So take it easy. They grow up and they're fine. She's 33 with 4 grandchildren and she's doing absolutely fine. And the second one, I was like, who wants to hold? Go for it. And my girlfriends are like, oh, wash your hands. You can touch. You can breathe. You can do it. I'm like, their baby got sick so many times. Because, the immune system has to, germs.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
I mean,
exactly.
of course, I'm not preaching don't wash your hands but keep your babies
Right.
clean and, don't walk in there coughing. But, my mom, hearing the stories from, grew up in Russia. I mean, we had no diapers. The moms had to wash by hand, everything. It was crazy. And I was like so happy that I did not have to go through birth in Russia, because the stories that I heard, I would probably never have a baby.
Yeah. It is
There's
nice that we forget. Yeah.
There's no epidurals. And if you want them, and if you do want them, and if there's epidural, you will have to sell your house to get one.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I'm saying.
They're very expensive.
The privileged few.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say is one thing you wish you would have known about breastfeeding?
That as much as I loved it, it was painful. I mean, especially in the beginning, figuring out how to latch
yes,
the baby on. And again, nobody told me about mastitis. Nobody told me, you can expect this and that, just be gentle with yourself. It does not have to be perfect. I told you it wasn't perfect. None of it was perfect, but I felt like I needed to do, I was breaking some rules. And I wish somebody told me, Irene, just take it easy in some of the parts of it, right?
Sure.
And breastfeeding, it's exhausting. It's, people make it so glamorous. You see all this infomercial, but it's not glamorous. I mean, you wake up with full of
milk, and then you've leaked and your shirt's all wet. Yeah.
Especially when you go to work, and my dilemma was, I needed like a super pad to put it into my boobs, and sure. I realized the blow dryer created more milk, and I wish somebody would have guided me. Of course they didn't know, but again, this just how uncomfortable it could be. I only saw glorious pictures of it, not the other side of bring three. If you go out, make sure you have 3 tops to change, because
yeah. No, that's so true. Yeah. And, I want to help mamas know, I mean, that's part of this podcast, is that to let mamas know not every journey is the same, and even not every child is the same. Your 2 were very different. Your nursing journeys were different. And so I want to help you be successful on this nursing journey, no matter if it's 2 weeks or if it's 2 years, and so I would love everyone to reach out to me if you have questions. I answer my DMs on Instagram. You can also work with me one-on-one, and I work with you for 30 days. You can send me voice messages, videos, text messages, and I will answer you back in less than 24 hours. It's quicker than your doctors. Other lactation specialists are going to get back to you. So from the comfort of your own house, I want to help you, because it's hard also to get out of the house, as I bet like to load everybody up and get anywhere can be a feat.
Yeah. And it's great that you provide this service. I think that's really, really missing for the new moms. I mean, when I left the hospital, there was no information for the lactation center or Leche. I had to sit there and figure out all these journeys myself. I felt alone. A lot of the times that's because none of my girlfriends were pregnant or breastfeed. Very few. And some of them were more customers. And, thank God for you. I'm so happy that you're doing it. The support needs to be there, and hospitals need to give us a list, right? Here, this is where you can go, and this is who can help, especially for the young mothers.
Yeah. And so, and I felt that way too. The times you feel the loneliest, I always felt were 2 to 4 a.m. when nobody else is awake, and you feel like I'm the only person awake in the world. And so that's a perfect time to pick up your phone, because we all have our phones on us now. Pick up your phone and send me a message, right? You might not want to talk with your baby, but go ahead and text me out a message and say, I'm struggling with this. We don't just have to talk about breastfeeding. You can say, I'm struggling with this today, or how should I navigate this? Or even someone was saying the other day, I want to breastfeed in public and baby wear my baby, but what is the perfect way for me? Now, am I a baby wearing expert? Absolutely not. Do I have friends in the baby wearing space? Yes. And so I asked one of my friends, she sent me back her favorite one. And so I might not have that information on baby wearing, but I have friends that do, and I will get back to you. And so you can ask me all your questions and not feel silly. And sometimes we feel silly asking our mamas or even our mother-in-laws, right? And so I don't want you to feel silly. I want to help you out.
Yeah. And my mom, I don't think my mom even breastfeed us in Russia.
Sure.
I don't even remember, like we never really talked about it, but it would be an interesting question to ask. I didn't think she had a lot of milk.
Sure.
And I heard that like kind of, like that wet nurse came and helped out because formula was very hard to find. So
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. I know I spoke with my grandma about her breastfeeding journey when she was still alive. She's, since passed. And so she said she didn't make a lot of milk either. And so actually her doctor recommended a fresh squeezed orange juice every day. So she actually gave her little babies a whole bottle of fresh squeezed orange juice every day.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never heard any more about it or anybody else ever say that, but they said if you aren't making enough milk, give them orange juice. So.
Oh, wow. So, and I mean, the Russian people, well, maybe Americans, I remember hearing people saying, oh, have a beer because it produces milk.
Yes.
Or have tea with milk, it produces milk. So, yeah, it was just all different ways to produce milk.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so what was maybe your favorite breastfeeding product you ever used?
I think that cushion, the little bumpy thing,
a boppy, or the
what I put it
a nursing pillow.
Yeah, nursing pillow, and then that was one of my favorite things that I love because it was so easy. I would drop her in. She was secure. Yeah. I can kind of lean back and take a nap while she was. She said, I had a big bed, so I know she's not going to fall off. Not that I fell asleep, but it was just comfortable for both of us.
Yeah, you're both relaxing, which also helps your letdown. It helps you produce more milk if you aren't stressed, if you're both laying there. Yeah, and I used to turn on music too to kind of help, relax me too. I also enjoyed that. So, well, thank you so much for your time today.
You brought me back to 33 years. It's memory lane. This is so beautiful. And listen, ladies, go for it. Look, go for it. You experience this if you can. And if you can't, so please don't be hard on yourself. The bottle still is amazing. You can still bond with your child. And, I just wanted to give that shout out to the women that don't breastfeed, right? For whatever reason, you're still incredible, beautiful mother. And don't let anyone take that away from you. Yes, breastfeeding is beautiful. It's a special bond, but so is bottle feeding. So just celebrate yourself no matter what way you decide to go.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. So how can all the mamas connect with you?
I am everywhere. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm all over the place.
And what's your name on everything?
So Facebook is Irene Vaksberg. It's VAKSBERG. So is LinkedIn. So is TikTok. And God Health _ Vaksberg is Instagram, and also Super Patch. Goddess is on Instagram. You guys different names, but
I can link them all in the show notes for you guys. Yeah,
it'll be easier. So, but again, just put my name into Google and you'll find me on every platform.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for listening in. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much if you would share it with another mama or post on social media and tag me. I want to personally thank you for wanting to help other mamas. You got this. I'm rooting for your breastfeeding journey.